Hello and welcome to History of Dragon Ball. Today we're giving you a recap and review of Chapter 75, God of Destruction Power. Last night, Chapter 75 of the manga of Dragon Ball Super dropped, this one being called God of Destruction Power. And, well, it's the first time we really get to see Vegeta in his destruction mode go at it. Rather than waste any time, let's just jump right into the recap of everything that happens, and then we'll talk a little bit about it at the end. Okay, so we get our initial front page, where we see Vegeta powering up and Granolah just looking a bit shocked at what is happening. He wonders, how can this person have so much power when he's supposed to be the strongest? He had his wish. It's not fair, if anything. Using his power, he manages to blast him back a bit, and then come straight up and grab him by the scruff of his neck. He's saying how Granolah's head has gotten too big, and Vegeta's gonna basically pound reality into it. He gives him a nice little headbutt, which I don't think we've really seen for a while, and at this point Granolah is just getting hammered. He keeps getting knocked back, trying to get back up, but Vegeta just comes flying back in for another hit. Granolah does in fact manage to get a few dodges in, but Vegeta just keeps coming. And anything Granolah shows, Vegeta chooses not to dodge, but just to take and embrace the hit head on. This is because every bit of damage he takes, he gets stronger. This just motivates him. This enhances his battle instinct, that warrior part of his soul that needs these battles to survive and embrace life. So then again, we get a few more moments of Vegeta basically kicking his ass, even sending one good kick into his stomach against a building. And at this point, they start really just destroying the old city again as well. Granolah feels like this is just a completely different person. This can't be the same person that he was fighting just minutes ago. Vegeta tries to explain that it's this innate power within him that makes him so strong. And it's all really thanks to Granolah and testing him and pushing him in this battle that brings out that true power. Granolah tries to send multiple ki blasts at him, all which Vegeta just takes head on. But again, Vegeta just powers straight through and manages to launch a chop at Granolah, who launches his own shield technique to try and protect him. Vegeta kind of laughs, thinks that this is a bit pathetic, and instead goes and throws a massive drop kick and breaks right through this shield. But just before this, though, they do talk about Goku's Ultra Instinct, and Vegeta basically saying, don't compare this technique to his. This is different. This is my technique I learned from a destroyer, not some wimpy thing called Ultra Instinct. And this is in fact where we get the official name, I guess, for it, which is Ultra Ego. And let's be fair, that does suit Vegeta down to a T. But anyway, now Vegeta has broken through that shield with a drop kick, we actually cut back to the old Namekian, who says he's basically realized, yeah, this is definitely Granolah, and what kind of fight has he caught himself up in now? Wondering if it's even Frieza that has already arrived. And this is in fact where Granolah thinks that this isn't even Frieza, so how can he possibly be so strong? How can someone who's not Frieza even slightly test it? At this point too, Vegeta tries to explain about the actual history of what Frieza did to the Saiyans, but Granolah is just not willing to accept it. He's actually getting quite riled up at Vegeta, almost what he believes is telling him lies. So he launches one more attack, which is actually a punch to the forehead that Vegeta once again takes straight on, and again sends him flying back. Oatmeal is trying to say, look, he's saying the same story, this might actually be true. Really just trying to point Granolah towards the truth. But Granolah is too angry and he will not listen. So instead what he does, he rips off Oatmeal and just throws it into the forest, saying he doesn't need support anymore. He is the strongest. He can do it on his own. And which in turn then reveals his red eye, which Vegeta reveals is a mark of his people. Now this is where Granolah has his turn to power up, saying that he too is kind of learning from this fight and growing stronger as it goes. So he has a massive power-up moment and tries to throw a building at Vegeta, who again, just blocks it. This isn't really doing enough. So he tries to throw more buildings. And again, Vegeta just kind of blocks it all. But this is something that we don't usually see from Vegeta. After all these things land, he rips off his armor. Now you don't usually see Vegeta without his armor if he started with it. But it's fine by him. He's taking his damage, he's getting stronger, and he says to Granolah, bring it on. Now we quickly see Oatmeal remotely launch Granolah's ship, pick up the eyepiece, and then fly back towards the battle, just as we cut back to Vegeta and Granolah trading blows. One gets a hit, the other gets a hit, it's very back and forth. Vegeta is sure that if he keeps taking some damage, he can grow stronger and stronger. although at last he dodges one of Granola's blasts. Is this a sign Vegeta is actually starting to hit a limit? Which is what we kind of get an idea of as we cut back to Goku, who is still trying to heal himself at the edge of the river. He even says to himself, "You've got to heal for me," which is a power that we haven't seen Goku do in quite a long time. He is really trying to get his body to heal itself. But anyway, we cut back to Granolah and Vegeta again, trading blows and blasts back and forth, with Vegeta taking more and more damage, even to the point he realizes he's taken a bit too much damage. It's starting to get a bit much. He even gets to a point now that Vegeta feels like he has to end this soon. He is definitely taking too much damage. So he creates a massive Hakai ball of energy and says, anything that this touches, it will destroy. So either Granolah has to get in its way and be vaporized, or the whole planet goes. So Vegeta launches it. Granolah does not seem fazed. Then something strange happens. Granolah's left eye turns red as well. What could this possibly mean? Well, what it does do is give him enough power to shoot beams out of both of his hands and destroy the ball of Hakai energy in the air so nothing gets vaporized. Or, I suppose, Granolah's Ki Blast gets vaporized, but that's all the same. This amount of power and energy sends pretty much everything on the planet flying. And then we cut back to Granolah just walking towards a damaged Vegeta on the floor. He does not understand how this could possibly happen, but Granolah thanks Vegeta for pushing him and showing him that he does truly have this power and he can figure out how to use it. So we actually now cut back to the Heaters, with them talking about that everything seems to be going to plan. Granolah and the Saiyans are going to kill each other for them, so then that leaves less of an issue for them to have to deal with later. And so really, at the end of the day, all they want to find are those Dragon Balls. And that is where chapter 75 ends. It's a bit of an interesting chapter because with a lot of the spoilers, we saw that perhaps Vegeta was going to actually take another loss in this chapter of the manga. But to be honest, I don't really see this as a loss. Yes, he is damaged. Yes, Granolah is getting stronger. But he's not down for the count. And I mean, really, with the way Dragon Ball usually goes, Goku has not come in and saved his ass. So again, I wouldn't say it's over yet. We also have to remember, there is a Senzu Bean lying around somewhere, and if Goku is trying to heal himself, that shows that he probably isn't the one who's got it. So if Vegeta needs to, he can take a Senzu Bean and go for round 2, which I think may well be what happens. I will also be very interested to see how the second red eye comes in. It's almost like a way of aiming with a gun. Yes, if you can close one eye and aim and shoot, that's great, but if you can aim without having to close either of your eyes, then it's even better. So does this mean something about, say, Granolah's accuracy, or some kind of powers he may unlock within his race? I don't quite know, but it will be interesting to see what happens, and hopefully it wasn't just for nothing. But overall, what do I really think of the chapter? There was some interesting art with a lot of awesome battle stuff. It was good to see Vegeta looking so deranged at times, really honing into his Saiyan instinct, becoming that true warrior once again. Yes, okay, it's a bit frustrating that Vegeta looks like he is on the back foot once again, and it's going to be Goku coming back in to save things, but to be honest, I couldn't see Vegeta winning this battle that quick anyway, so I definitely feel like there is more to happen. So in terms of where I'd probably rank this manga chapter within all the others that have come out recently, I wouldn't say it's one of the best, to be honest, because it's just kind of not too much happens, but it's not like nothing happens. It wasn't filler, but it was just a lot of battle and kind of trying to get Granolah to understand what's going on. Yes, it is great to see Vegeta's new form, but again, we see a new form for Vegeta that doesn't actually end up doing too much, initially at least. So I kind of put this at not the best, not the worst, but still decent. I hope that kind of makes sense to you. But as for what could potentially happen next, well, it very much looks like Goku is going to have healed himself and reappear in the battle at some point soon. So does this mean they're going to go for fusion again? Maybe. Or are we going to see an Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego side-by-side fight? That's also a potential one, which could be really cool to see, as it is something we haven't seen before. Maybe that's what they need. They need to do a 2-on-1 battle to actually be able to overpower him. Or perhaps they're going to get back and actually get through to Granolah and realize that he's not the enemy, and realize that they are not the enemy to him. And this is perhaps where Frieza could arrive. Because after all, the whole thing with Granolah is he wants to kill Frieza. These Saiyans are just a side quest on the way to his main goal. So he's going to have to show up soon. Or at least Goku's going to say, well, I can take you to Frieza to kind of clear up all the answers. And then maybe we go from there. I don't really know. But I can only really see one more chapter now of this fight going on. until something else happens to change things up. Again, whether that is with Frieza appearing, something more to do with the heaters, or maybe even a fusion. But the way it is now with just Vegeta or just Goku, I think we're nearing the end. So with that now rounded up, and with me also giving you my thoughts, I'd love to know what all of you think of this chapter. Is it one of your favorites? Is it one of your least favorites? Is it just somewhere in the middle and maybe just a bit? Yeah, who knows? But let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on this chapter in the comment section below. Now, I really hope you are enjoying the channel at this time, so I want to give a massive thank you if you are watching the videos and even have gotten to the end of this one with me today. And I will see you next time with our Dragon Ball recap series next week. And so, I will see you next time on History of Dragon Ball.